Ta-da! Ooh. Can you see our harp? Hello and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we're going to be making something from the movie David. How many of you have seen the movie? Did you enjoy it? Let me know what you think about the movie in the comment section. Okay, we're going to be making a version of David's harp. Okay, my version, a simpler version. All right, so stay with me as we make this. Okay, so our materials for today are carton. Okay, so I have a big piece here. When I have some smaller pieces. Okay, you can have as many pieces as you want. All right, we're going to be using some wool. And then some craft sticks, okay, or popsicle sticks, okay, and then we're also going to use some black paper, okay. If you don't have black, you can use whatever colors you have at home, okay. All right. And then of course we'll need some tape, and then our compass. We're going to be drawing one circle today, or two circles. All right, and then of course scissors and glue. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so you can see that I have a large piece of carton and pieces. These pieces, they come in handy. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to take our compass, okay, and draw out two circles here. I actually used about three of this kind of cardboard, okay. So think about that. So my circle was a bit bigger. All right, so you're going to draw out your circle, draw out two circles, and then you're going to watch me draw out all the parts of the harp. Okay, it has different parts. I do it part out 2 times, okay, so that it could give it a bit of thickness, so that it can be sturdy and it can stand well. So I have 2 circles and I have 2 different parts of each part, okay, so I have 2 circles and 2 of each, like that. Okay, I hope you understand. All right, so let's get cutting. Welcome back. Now, after cutting our cardboard, you can see that our harp is starting to take shape. Okay, so now to the most important part of the harp, the strings. The part that you play. So we're going to be using wool for the strings. Okay, so I want you to watch how I use wool to make the strings. So I'm going to be using wool and then some tape to hold the strings in place. Okay, so don't go anywhere. see these are tiny pieces. I told you they will come in handy. So there are some parts that I'm going to cut out small strips and I'm going to use them to join. Okay, they're going to act as a, let's say a base or something joining two pieces. Okay, so this is where they come in handy. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. As you can see, our harp is taking shape more and more. Okay, so now we're going to just do the tiny things at the top of the harp. I'm not sure what they're called, right? But I'm going to be using my craft sticks. Okay, I'm going to cut one into two and then cut some of them like that. And I'm just going to stick it up on top. So watch as I do this in my video and don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So this black cardboard, okay, we're just going to use it to add some details, okay? So I'm going to be cutting some strips, some tiny strips, okay? So you can watch how I do that, okay? Don't go anywhere. Ta-da! Ooh. Can you see our harp? I'm not sure how they hold it. I'm not sure if it's this way. Ta-da-ba-dum. Or if it's this way. Ta-da-ba-dum. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, we made our harp. Okay. So this is David's harp. King David. All right. So this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoy making this from the comfort of your home. Thank you for watching. Please, 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 please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay. Until next time. See you. Bye-bye.